So the seller sold at a lower price, but according to the bank, they bought it full price? Question mark. I'm confused. So can you clear that up a little
really
bit?
Smart question. You're not as confused as you think. The seller sold the property at full retail, but because of the way the financing was structured, they sold it at what I call a bargain. The closing statement had the full price on it, but the way you paid the money back, it was a discount because you paid today's price for the property with tomorrow's dollars.
With 10 years out dollars on 60,000 of it.
It should have been 15 years, but
yeah, I mean 60,000 on a $335,000 house, Eddie. What is that? That's 16% of the purchase price.
Well, I'm very tempted to tell you the next punchline.
before you do that, let's flesh out this deal completely so that everyone really understands this. So why would they settle for zero interest, Eddie? Why would the seller do that?
What I've found is this, Don. People have something inside them that says, I want to sell my property at a certain price. There's a certain ego or a certain mindset or whatever it is. I don't want a discount. Yet they will give essentially the farm away in financing terms so long as they get their price.
Yeah.
And that's just a 40-year observation, right? So I would say if I can help you with one thing, because I've probably seen 300,000 or 400,000 seller finance notes, 300,000 or 400,000, I said, right? I have noticed this pattern that people, as long as they got their price, they agreed to crazy terms and justified it in their head.
I think that's where, in my mind, and maybe other people can relate to this, but it's like leasing a car. The car dealerships, they're going to get their money one way or the other. They're going to get you. It's just how they get you. And it's probably the bad way to say it right now, but it's a similar type thing. You structure the loan where it's advantageous to you, right?
Well, let me make a point about that.
Yeah.
So Jeff, you and I are good friends. You know, I know your kids, you know my kids, like literally we know each other pretty dang well. And let's just say that we weren't in real estate. You were practicing law and I was a doctor or whatever. We weren't real estate guys. And so I had a piece of property for sale and the market turns and things aren't bringing as much money and money's tight and the mortgage companies aren't lending like they used to. And I want to call you and say, you know, Jeff, I had my property for sale and I want you to know I wanted $320,000 for it and I got my price. You didn't ask me the terms.
I wouldn't know to ask you the terms. I'd be like, well, how'd Eddie get so lucky to sell for asking price, full ask, when everybody else is selling for a deep discount? Yeah.
Yeah. So the advantage is that there's a mental process. Now, listen, guys, this is what note school does. We teach you how to think this way, right? This is not, I get that on the surface with no guidance, it's like you got to start learning to wrap your mind around it. I will say with confidence that people that seller finance are very happy with their deal because the closing statement gave them the price that they wanted the closing statement to say. So your guy asked a great question, Don, which is why would somebody do this? Because he had to compromise something and he didn't want to compromise price.